Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a 2-for-1 review when we look at the Mayhem Attack Squadron duo of Prime Universe Breakdown and Windsweeper. This duo is going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton and let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is the Transformers Legacy United Doom and Destruction duo, pretty sure Amazon exclusive of Breakdown and Windsweeper. Now, what's interesting here, of course, is that naturally both of these are mold reuses. We're going to look at them like one after the other. I will say this. I always wanted a version of Windsweeper, and really all we had was either the original TriggerCon way back when, or the, I think it was like Collector's Club, or it was like subscription service or something. It was the Combiner Wars one, and now it's this one. For some reason, Windsweeper's always an exclusive, and it's so strange. But I really wanted him. Wasn't so sure about this guy. I think the mold is fine. Had it for Bulkhead. How was it going to fare for him? Well, when we look at him in particular, we're actually going to compare him to the original Voyager Breakdown that came with Zamu, I think was the name of the Arms Micron hammer that came with them. So we'll actually be able to kind of assess this next to that. Without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at these guys. And so today we do a 2-for-1 by way of the Transformers Legacy United Doom and Destruction 2-pack of Breakdown and Windsweeper, who in this iteration is the G1 Windsweeper and the Prime Breakdown, and apparently they're both part of the Mayhem Attack Squadron, which is kind of the Decepticons' answer to the Wreckers. Word is that apparently, like next year's Amazon exclusives or whatever will be like a Mayhem Attack Squadron versus Wreckers. That's what I've heard. Not for nothing, I also heard that the Windsweeper was supposed to originally release in Generation Selects, but that never materialized, never came to pass for whatever reason. This is the box. I kind of like the comic book sort of artwork that's on it. It's neat. If you're not going to have an open window, I mean, I guess this looks pretty good. Close-up over here of our boy, Windsweeper, over here of Breakdown. I assume that this must be the Mayhem Attack Squadron's logo, I guess. On the back, you can see the product images in both modes, and you'll also notice that even though this guy is a TriggerCon, fun fact by the way, many speculate he was actually supposed to originally be a Trigger bot because his blasters were chromed like the bots, and that Dogfight, who is an Autobot, a Trigger bot, was supposed to be a TriggerCon, and for whatever reason they got switched. I don't know if any of that's true or not, but in this case, instead of him having the two TriggerCon like flip out, you know, thingamajigs on his arms, he comes with, because this is a reuse of Needle Nose, he actually comes with two Target Masters. Honestly, I'm probably just going to put them on his arm and leave them there. But their names are Clean Sweep and Ozone. Make of that what you will, but this is the packaging. We have a large sheet of instructions. They're pretty effective. If you know Needle Nose, then you'll know this transformation. If you know a Legacy Bulkhead, then you'll know this transformation. In fact, here they both are in their vehicle modes. I'm going to do the transformation going from vehicle to robot because we've already seen both of these molds in the past, and we've seen the transformation, the way they come in packaging, from robot to vehicle. So this is a chance to document it in the other direction. We're going to do one at a time, and we're going to start with, I guess, Windsweeper and his Target Master buddies first. This all-silver lad is Clean Sweep, named after, by the way, one of the G.I. Joe Eco Warriors, apparently. He's all beige, painted silver. I think there might be some black on the face. Zero articulation, and the transformation is quite simply just flipping that piece down, and that's it. Here we have our other Eco Warrior name use by way of Ozone. And again, no articulation or anything. I'm pretty sure beige. All painted silver. And his transformation is a two-barreled flip-de-doo, flip-de-majigger, whatever you want to call it. And just flips it out like that. And here we have our neat freak Decepticon. Yes, he is a neat freak. He likes things clean, which I guess makes sense, considering his partners, and especially with them being eco warriors, right? It kind of all goes together. If you want to use this guy as a Target Master, cool. Like I said, I'm not going to. Right now, I don't have the Target Master partners on. I did earlier. I just have them on up under the wings. There's pegs back here. Naturally, those pegs are able to accommodate the peg holes that are on the back here and the one peg hole that's on the back here, if you're so inclined to do it that way. I love the look of this. The scores that I'm going to do are going to have to be based on the like G1 toy release, because he was only in comic books, and we all know the way the coloration and limits of like certain color hues and stuff were on comic books. So we're going to base it on the original. That said, the original is based on a B-1B Lancer bomber as the plane type. This one is a stylized, I suppose, modified, if you want to call it that, F-16 XL variant of the F-16 Fighting Falcon, apparently. So it's not the same plane, so we're going to have to go just on the coloration. By the way, the only other release of this guy was the Combiner Wars mold, and that was a General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon. So it was like an actual Fighting Falcon. I digress. In terms of plane mode, we have the yellow on the cockpit, even though the cockpit looks a little different from G1. We do have the kind of reddy orangey canopy of the body, and we do have the beigeish wings with the really the correct detail on it, or as correct as you're going to be able to do the detail considering this particular mold. Let's do the transformation. We begin by picking the feet, I guess, off of this piece here, whether you pull the feet down or you pick this up a little bit, however you want to do it. Then we bring a leg down and bring a foot out. We go over here and we bring a leg down, bring a foot out. We then turn a leg and turn a leg. We're going to stand our guy up, adjust the camera so that we can see the rest of them. Also, not for nothing, I did look at Needle Nose in episode 1047. So if you do want to see the transformation from robot to plane, by all means check that one out. Okay, so we have him stood up now. By the way, he also has on his chest the indentations, so just like Needle Nose can go affixed to rectangular pegs, I guess you could call them, along the top of the plane for Legacy, Dreadwing, or Skyquake. This guy can also slot in the same. So if you really want, you could put Needle Nose, say, on Dreadwing, and you could put this guy, say, on Skyquake, right? As an example. So just a neat little feature. Like I said, I'm not going to show it here. We all know how they attach. If you don't know how they attach, I do show that, I believe, when I looked at Needle Nose. Okay, so the arms now come out and come out. The back here should now be able to come up. And now we need to split the back, split the front, and we're going to rotate up the head. We're going to push the back down, bring out the shoulders all the way. We're going to flip these pieces down over, and now this tab will go into little slots back here when I flip this up, or they should tab in. Turn that arm around, turn that arm around. Now you can put the Target Master lads in his hands if you want, or, much like I'm doing, if you're so inclined, you can put one on that arm. Oh, you can put one on that arm. There. And boom. I'm going to have to tab that in. Give me a second to tab that in. But basically, boom, in the end here we have Needle Nose in his plane mode. I just don't have these tabbed in, and that's my fault. Might be have something to do with the heat here too. Yeah, there we go. Boom, now he's in his complete robot mode. I like the transformation. Honestly, I'm going to give it about a 9. I think it's really good. I like the look. Again, if we compare to the original G1 version, this is pretty darn good, actually. Starting from the legs and working up, the beige, the silver on the knees. Granted, we should probably have a little bit of detail on the knees that's not there. The reddish torso and thighs and pelvis. The beige arms and wings, all right. The silver blasters on the arms are, that's right. The orange face, the beige head. The Decepticon logo in the middle of his chest, arguably, you should have a little bit of red and like tealy kind of detail there, but honestly, 9. So we have a 9 and a 9. Let's do the articulation for the guy. I really hope. Let me make sure about where this is tabbed in, because it seems like it's not quite staying there. Hold on one moment. Not for nothing, and my apologies. I didn't have this shoulder up all the way because what happens is the 2 top ones go into 2 slots on the top and the 2 shoulders peg into 2 slots on the side. And I didn't have this one up all the way, that's why I was having trouble keeping this tabbed in. Just a very minor thing that I probably even forgot to mention because I'm used to lining up all 4 tabs. Okay, let's do the articulation and then we can kind of move on to the second half here. Left, right, little wiggle up and down for the head. The arms, they can, assuming you get the wing here out of the way, they can go all the way around. Bicep swivel, very deep bend at the elbow. Do we have a wrist rotation here? Yeah, we have a wrist rotation. We have waist here. We have legs all the way forward. Again, not all the way back, but if you get some junk in the way, you'll do okay. In terms of T-pose, he can T-pose, and he can do the splits all the way to the side. Thigh rotation, again, super deep, super deep knee. And ankle tilt. For deluxe, it's, the mass is here. I don't remember what it is now, but I know the mass was here with needle nose. The color's there. The articulation, the joints that I would want are generally all there. I'm going to say the articulation is, I mean, is there anything else I could really want for this size class? For this price point? I don't think so. I'm going to say the articulation's a 10. So we had a 9, a 9, a 10. This guy overall is a solid 9.5. What a great start to this set. And now we have Breakdown, which is a little more interesting than I thought it was going to be honest with you. So this is the war breakdown, and not for nothing, I love this guy with Zamu. I got this courtesy of our buddy Razor Bear. I looked at him in episode 1056. So we're going to really compare it to this because this is kind of, man, it's pretty darn close to the animation, right? And not for nothing, this mold we also looked at previously before as Bulkhead, and that was episode 969. And I said then, it's an excellent mold, it's just not Bulkhead. Nothing about it put me in the mind of Bulkhead. Maybe it'll work a bit better for Breakdown. We'll see as we compare the two here. First thing to note is that they're both trucks. Obviously, this one far more stylized than what this is. Also, we will note that the hammer is the Arms Micron Zamu for the original here, as where it's actually just, I'll take this off, just a hammer here. Cool looking hammer though. I peg it on here. You can do what you like with it. So I'm just going to lay the hammer aside for now. We'll see that a bit later anyway, pardon me. In terms of being the blue, I mean, this guy's a bit of a lighter blue, but like, I don't hate it. I feel like it's a good breakdown blue. In terms of an approximation of the vehicle, it looks nothing like the vehicle is supposed to, but I don't feel like it's as egregious for Bulkhead as I felt, or sorry, for Breakdown as I felt it was for Bulkhead. So make of that what you will. This one rolls great. This one rolls great. We're going to do the scores when we get them in robot mode, so we're going to take this guy out of it for now. I'm just going to lay that aside, and we're going to focus on our lad here. I mean, here it is in the front, and on the side you see the Decepticon logos. You can also see this logo here, which I mentioned earlier, and said that I'm pretty sure that that's the Mayhem Attack Squadron's logo. It was on the box above his head. I'm sticking with that. I'm going to say that that's what it is. Now that we're in a little closer, we can see this gorgeous detail. We're going to do the transformation next. I'm going to put this down, and we're going to unpeg from the side here and the side here. If you want, you can leave this on. I'm going to try and leave it on for the transformation. We'll see how that goes. I'm even going to flip these up so we can try and see inside here. Much like with Bulkhead, he comes with that ball mace thing that goes around his fist. That's fine. And he also comes with a version of the little like shoulder cannon thing. Again, it's exactly like with Bulkheads. It's translucent, it's colored silver and purple. Again, we'll see this when, you know, we put it on the guy. We're going to come here and bring down a foot and bring down a foot. I mentioned this with Bulkhead, I'm going to mention it again now. The heels, a lot of people complain about them getting stuck up in the foot, me included. What I didn't realize with Bulkhead that I do realize now is that there's actually a rectangular tab and slot on the heels that do tab into the, I don't know, the edge of the tailgate, I suppose, of the truck. And it does keep them there. So now I can pick these slightly off of those. Okay, our legs, of course, are bent up just like you would expect them to be, a la Bulkhead. We open this out, and we can straighten out a leg. This whole piece comes down, rotates in, and goes into the shin, and closes over. I'm going to show it again on this side, or I'm going to try and show it again on this side, maybe a little bit better. We open that in. If it's still tabbed in on the leg, we untab it from the leg. We bring it down to about here, because it won't go down any further. Then we rotate it all the way around on that little ball joint and push it in and close this down. And now we can straighten up that leg as well. Then we, see if I can show this. Then we want to really kind of bring all of that sort of like this, like we want to collapse all of this together so that we can sort of deal with the upper body. Now I do find the upper body to be slightly more cumbersome. Not bad, just slightly more cumbersome, especially dealing with these tires and this little section back here. And it might be the thing that causes this to pop off. Possibly, because you really have to get these tires out of the way and then lift this piece off so that you can rotate up these circular sections here. Let's see how this goes. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to take this off just to make life a little easier for showing this. You don't have to take it off, but I don't know. I find it helps if you do. So I pick that up like that. Then I pick this up like this, and I take this arm down, and I take this arm down, and I straighten it out, and I straighten it out. What we need to do now is rotate, well, I guess unpeg and rotate up. There, unpeg from down under here, and now we rotate up on these thusly, and rotate up thusly. When we get it up high enough, we're going to be able to tab these into the side here, but we're not there yet because we have to deal with the head. We come up here and we push this all the way down to the front of the windshield, and now we come here where the head was and we bring that up. As we're doing it, we should be able to bring all of this down. This translucent piece will go over these two tabs here, and then we'll put the arms in as soon as we get this kind of down and solidified, and the head comes up through as well. So that comes down, this comes up, and it should, there you go, solidify in. This one also comes up and around, and it too solidifies in. We have the tummy down here, not solidified in yet. There you go, now it's solidified in. We can bring this down on the back, and that's exactly where, using this hole and this peg, that's exactly where that goes on his back, so that boom, in the end, here we have Bulkhead in his robot mode. I'm going to stand him up and put his bits and pieces on him, but that's basically the transformation. And here we have breakdown next to breakdown. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up. The feet should basically be like a grayish color. They are on this one, not on this one, they're blue. The shins should be blue, they both are. The knee pads should be silver or gray, they both are. The thighs should be gray, they both are, varying shades, but that's fine. The pelvis gray also. Where the tummy bumper section is, that should be grayish blackish, and it is. The chest should be blue. The chest is blue on both, though this one has windshield there. This one does not. The shoulders and upper arms, they should be gray. These are pretty iconic, these I don't know what they are. Shoulder detail. Obviously, this doesn't have that and has wheels up on the shoulder. The blue forearms, that's correct. The silver hands, black hands, I mean, I'm cool with either. The face and head, I mean, they're comparable on both, to be honest with you. Both of them have an excellent, excellent head sculpt. I feel like that this mold fits Breakdown slightly better than Bulkhead. Bulkhead, if you took the head off, I would never guess it's Bulkhead. With this guy, I might guess that it's Breakdown. I might, but it would be the blue, I think, that would sell me on it. And not for nothing. Here they are together. And like, again, like this kind of makes sense in terms of facing off to me. So, the transformation for this guy, I think honestly it's a solid 9 for sure. Yeah, it's pretty smooth, it's pretty excellent. Solid 9, if not a 10. It's quite well done, I really enjoy it. In terms of the look, I'm gonna give it an 8. So we have about say 8.5 or so now, maybe a 9. Let's do the articulation for the guy. Head goes left, right, kind of up and down. The arm can go all the way around, out to the side, elbow, bicep swivel, wrist rotation. By the way, while I did put his blaster in his hand, we do have the little pieces here on the side, so back here, kind of next to the tire, you can, see if I can do this, you can still stick that in over his shoulder if you're so inclined. Same with the hammer here, you can kind of do what you want with that too, right? Full T-pose, the legs of course can go all the way out to the side, waist rotation, leg forward, leg back, knee to 90 degrees, thigh rotation, ankle tilt, heel and foot able to also move. If the guy was getting, say, an 8.5, I think that the articulation is a 9.5. I'm going to give the guy overall, say, a 9.5, which, not for nothing, is exactly, I believe, the score that I gave to Windsweeper. By the way, when I went through, one second here, when I went through Windsweeper's, let me bring this guy in here, when I went through Windsweeper's articulation, I'm not sure I mentioned the waist, but he does have a waist. Overall, the two of these, I think this guy is the star of the set, but it's a solid set. Overall score for the set, honestly, I'm going to say is about a 9.5. And here we are once again, and here they are. First things first with Windsweeper. I know he comes with the two little Target Master guys. As I have done here, they're going to live on his arms. I don't really care about Clean Sweep or Ozone that much. It's cool that they're named that, and that's a nod to the whole, like, eco-warrior G.I. Joe thing. But, and especially where this guy's a neat freak, so to speak. But, like, I'm cool with him hanging out with Crankcase, who, not for nothing, I didn't show here with this guy. I'm really hoping to get Ruckus, so I can kind of have all three of them shown off together. I don't know, this one's as good, basically, as the Needle Nose mold. If you know that mold, then you basically know this. And not for nothing, if I was going to pair them up with Dreadwing or Skyquake, I would definitely pair this guy with Skyquake, and I would pair Needle Nose with Dreadwing. That's just the way I would do it. Then we get to this guy. I think this guy or the original are both tremendous. I think it works a little bit better for Breakdown than it did for Bulkhead. The vehicle mode is certainly still off, and most of the coloration is right here. But I feel like because this blue, this shade of blue, is to me so quintessentially Breakdown, I think that's why I can buy it a little more. You look at the accuracy of the original, and it's really accurate. This is obviously stylized. Is it good? Yes. Is this good? Yes. As a duo, as a set, are they great molds, great transformers? Yeah. Arguably, when you push on the nose cone, his shoulders, just like with Needle Nose, like to come untabbed. That's just, I mean, it's the way the mold is. It's unfortunate, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not the tightest thing in the world. But again, I might not even have this collapse quite as tight as it can be. It's only for review purposes here. You know, functionality-wise, I think that back hinge can collapse a little bit more. If you have been on the fence and you're wondering, hey, should I pick them up? I mean, you don't have to if you don't really care about either of these characters. I don't know if we're ever going to get a mainline Windsweeper, and that's what really drew me. But if you're wondering, should I? I think you can buy with confidence because they're both great molds. Bit stylized, but fun to have nonetheless. Let me know what you think about this duo. Do you like one better than the other? Do you really want both? One instead of the other? Do you wish, that they use completely different molds? Do you think these made sense? What's your thoughts on this set? I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, man, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.